Okay, so I just finished the last episode of The Mandalorian, and I still want to make an entire season review or whatever, but after that episode, I just had to hop on and get my initial immediate thoughts out. Everyone is already saying that this is the best Star Wars they've ever seen since the originals. And even the best Star Wars they've ever seen. Now, I think that's crazy. At the end of the day, the Mandalorian is the Mandalorian, and it is still in the style of Mandalorian. So it's not the best Star Wars ever. I still think even the Clone Wars Season 7 finale beats this. But this episode of The Mandalorian was definitely absolutely perfect. It was well directed, it was suspenseful, and it had probably one of the best surprise reveals maybe of all time in like sci-fi history. It was that good, and it was so Star Wars. Big praise to everyone that worked on this episode and made it what it was, because it was that good. Something I loved about this episode was throughout the episode, it made me think about the things that were starting to bother me about Star Wars in general and about the Mandalorian. Moff Gideon is not threatening. I don't know why so many people like Moff Gideon. I never really liked him. He looks like he could be my great uncle. He was never threatening. He was never intimidating. He was never anything important or interesting to me as a villain. And that really hurt my pull towards the Mandalorian, because something that makes Star Wars so great is the villains. Obviously, we've had Vader, we've had Grand Moff Tarkin, we've had Palpatine, we've had non-stop just amazing villains throughout, and Grand Moff Gideon, he's just not intimidating. He never posed a threat, and in this episode that just confirmed it to me. The first time that he finally gets into an actual battle, an actual fight with Din Djarin, he loses. He loses with the Darksaber in hand. He loses badly, easily. Frame 1. It wasn't even that challenging. I hope these pose more of a threat than that after being the main villain of this show for so long. I thought, okay, he doesn't seem that intimidating, but obviously he's gonna be, you know what I'm saying, they're gonna do more with him, right? Like, he's gonna be at least powerful, or I don't know. Another thing was the clone troopers. Honestly, clone troopers are getting really stale to me. I feel like we've had clone troopers do nothing for 50 years now. They've always just been there to get shot and not do anything back. And it's getting frustrating, honestly, seeing the same thing happen. Like, they're just there to move action along, just to give the main character someone to shoot and not shoot back. You know what I'm saying? They always miss. You know what I'm saying? It's getting tiring. It's getting stale. So a beautiful change of pace with this episode was the Dark Troopers. I really didn't expect too much from them, but what they did with them was very, very, very good. We saw the Empire finally deploy some actually effective enemies, something we have not seen in a really long, like, we never get to see that. We only see troopers get shot and shoot back and always miss. It's frustrating now. It's frustrating now. I'm done with it, honestly. That was something that this episode confirmed with me. I really don't like seeing troopers anymore. So with every series that's coming, hopefully they can do something else besides troopers, you know? It's just getting stale. One of the main parts of their plan was to get rid of the Dark Troopers frame 1. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want to deal with them at all. Now, I thought once we saw that they were like breaking through, I thought, okay, but they're all gonna get out, right? But only one made it out. You know what I'm saying? And it actually had Din Djarin or Mando, his hands were full. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't handle this droid, and it was really interesting. It was really cool. It gets you thinking, like, okay, these droids actually pose a real threat, and that was really cool for our main cast. I was thinking, okay, this is great. This is something we need to see more of. Our characters really actually struggling. You know what I'm saying? Which Mando is not bad at that, but Star Wars in general is kind of bad at that. But throughout this, I'm thinking the whole time, for whatever reason, it gets me thinking, okay, but a Jedi would not struggle with this, right? You know what I'm saying? The saber would go straight through all of these droids, and it would be nearly no issue for a Jedi, right? But I never, ever guessed what we were about to see. So the highlight of anything that Disney has done so far, Luke was amazing. The moment you see his X-Wing swing around the window, you see it, and you instantly know whose X-Wing that is, but you're just like, no way. At least me, I'm like, no way. Disney is not about to do this to me right now. I looked up no spoilers. I had no spoilers going into this. I had no thoughts behind. I had no idea that this reveal was even possible. I'm screaming like a child. I'm screaming, no way, no fucking way, right? And even still, when the Jedi boards a cruiser, I still am there. Like, I have doubt. I'm like, there's no way. I did not think Disney was about that life, but then you just see the green saber emerge and you hear that sound and you're just like, you're in this. I kid you not, I'm jumping up and down. I feel like I'm 12 years old again, and this was amazing, especially for me, who isn't really the biggest fan of Luke. And that's not to say that he isn't a great character. He's obviously a great character, but I always preferred Anakin. You know what I'm saying? I didn't grow up with the original trilogy, and I don't like Return of the Jedi, but there he is in all of his Return of the Jedi glory, in beautiful execution. And this really, for me, who isn't really a fan of Return of the Jedi, or, you know what I'm saying, even Empire Strikes, I'm gonna get some comments, don't attack me, but, you know what I'm saying, I really don't love those movies too much, but I still do love Star Wars. So viewing this moment for me was incredible, because it made me feel what so many people are always talking about when they talk about Luke. The character of their childhood, the character that they looked up to, their childhood hero. I saw him in that light in this episode, and I never had really experienced it before, because I just couldn't vibe with the movies, like, you know what I'm saying, because I didn't grow up with them or whatever reason. And Return of the Jedi also sucks, but except for the ending. And Grogu is there reaching out to him as if he knows them, and it all comes together. You're there just thinking like, wow, so Luke was the one that Grogu actually reached out to and connected to, and they even gave him a hallway scene reminiscent of the famous Vader scenes. Vader is famous for his hallway scenes, slashing through enemies. They give him this beautiful scenes of him just tearing through every one of the droids that Din Djarin, and everyone was so, they probably would have died right there. They probably would have died there. You know what I'm saying? Grandma Gideon is there saying, like, you all are going to die and I am going to live. You know this, right? And he's just there slashing through, and he crushes the last one. It's amazing. All this, they still don't show his face though, so I'm just there like a little girl at the edge of my bed. I'm screaming, okay, but his face, I gotta see his face. What is his face gonna look like? You know what I'm saying? Because obviously Mark Hamill is old. You know what I'm saying? Mark Hamill can't look like that no more. So are they going to bring back that act? I did see rumors about that other actor, and I also, you know what I'm saying, obviously in the past they've done de-aging, or like they brought faces back, you know what I'm saying? So I still didn't believe, something in me, it still didn't believe. I was like, okay, but I need to see his face to really believe that he's really there. And there he is. He pulls off the robes, he pulls off the hood, and he's just there. It is Luke Skywalker. I was there watching the watch party with Star Wars Theory. Shout out to Star Wars Theory. And he was in tears, bawling, crying, and I'm just there like hype as fuck. Like it sent chills down my, like, it was amazing. It was an amazing experience. It was an amazing scene, and I'm glad that, you know what I'm saying, I'm glad that they did it. This was Mark Hamill de-aging technology, that, or that other actor that's been rumored so much, or maybe it's a mixture of both, but regardless, he looked amazing. He looked perfect. He looked like a little bit older version of Luke Skywalker, and I had no problems with, like, he looked amazing. Like, obviously in the past we've had Leia and Grand Moff Tarkin. They also have brought them back, but this, I don't know. I apparently in the end credits they only credited Mark Hamill, so this is really only the same technology that they used, but just more advanced. They mastered it now. Like, it looked amazing. It was perfect. It's over. It's over. Like the arc of the Mandalorian, everything that's pushed the story along so far is over. Luke takes Grogu. Grogu is given to Luke, and it's supposed to be this really emotional moment of Din Djarin having to give up Grogu, but I'm just there bouncing off the walls in excitement as R2-D2 swings around from the behind Luke. I couldn't possibly feel any emotion. I was just overwhelmed with excitement, which is fine as well. And they didn't push it, which I really like. They didn't overdo it, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't too fan servicey. They really just knew to give the original trilogy viewers their moment, you know what I'm saying? That's what they did. They gave them their moment. They gave them their moment to look at him and just be in awe and just feel that raw emotion of seeing a character, having an experience like this that we haven't had in a really, really long time because of the sequel trilogy. I do also want to add, though, that this really doesn't, to me, erase Disney's mistakes. I've seen a lot of people saying, like, oh, Disney's amazing now. Disney did it, you know what I'm saying? Well, I don't care about the sequel trilogy anymore. Not for me. Honestly, as someone who was still growing up around the time that the sequel trilogy came out, I don't think I'll ever forgive them for what they did to the sequel trilogy. You know what I'm saying? It was a lack of so many things that it could have been amazing, but it wasn't. And it sucks that we had to wait until, at the end of the day, it is a spin-off series. It sucks that we had to wait so long, so many years, so many movies that we pay money to go see 2 hours of each time, to feel something like this, to get a moment like this. It sucks, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that they should be ever let off the hook for that, especially with the fact that Disney isn't really the ones that are doing these amazing shows. Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are the keys to what is turning Disney around, and you can only really praise Disney for taking a step back and realizing, oh my gosh, we fucked up. And Favreau and Filoni, the creative control to be able to do what they want. Say the sequel trilogy did well and it had good reception from the fans, they wouldn't, you know what I'm saying, they wouldn't have taken that step back. They wouldn't have changed things up. So, and then we see Boba in the after credits, back in action, back in all his glory. He takes over Jabba's old palace. He clears everyone out and he claims it his own. I assume he might be ruler of the underworld now. I think they did something similar to that in the comics or Legends or whatever it's called now. And then we find out that the reason that they didn't announce the Boba series in the huge Disney investor announcement thing that they did, which was huge, and they could have done it there, but they saved it for the last episodes of Mandalorian's after credits. It just made this experience and this final episode so worth it. Now I do have some gripes the show and the first half of the series, but this was absolutely amazing. Definitely up there with one of the best moments in Star Wars, easily. I think everyone would agree with that. So yeah, wow. I mean, hats off to Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. They were really able to be the keys to completely turning around a train wreck that Disney had created with Star Wars. They really took something, stomped it into the ground, disrespected it, and they brought it back up. And I feel like Star Wars has such a bright future going forward, and that's just such a good feeling as someone who was stuck with the sequel trilogy. I really grew up with around Rogue One, right? It looked to be a bright future around the time that Rogue One came out. I was still a kid, but then we got the sequel trilogy, and it's just like, fuck, you know what I'm saying? Fuck, you know what I'm saying? Why does everyone else get to have the original series, the original 3, and then the next 6, which is debatable how good it is, but those were still really good stories that were told, and the sequel trilogy is a story that never had to be told. So it feels good. It feels good to have Star Wars in a great place, the same as anime, the same as gaming, everything. It's just it's nice to see Star Wars on the right path again. So what an ending. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but especially after the sequel trilogy, but I can't wait to see what's next from Disney. That's gonna be it for me. Stay on the lookout. Another video. I might do a double upload today, and then obviously, and then another video the next day. I upload every day on this channel, so be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Mandalorian full season review coming very soon. And comment down below, how did you guys feel about the episode? Let me know. What was your favorite moment, and how did, you know what I'm saying, did Disney redeem themselves? Did Disney fix the mistakes that they made?